A lot of shooters think reliability is something you discover during a relaxed range session on a sunny Saturday. The reality is very different. Most firearm failures don't reveal themselves until stress enters the equation. When your grip isn't perfect, your heart rate spikes, and the gun has to function without excuses. As we move into 2026, reliability matters more than ever. A firearm can look great on paper, offer impressive specifications, and still disappoint when conditions stop being ideal. Today, we're looking at several handguns that have developed reputations for reliability concerns, inconsistent performance, or safety controversies that continue generating debate among shooters. The Remington R51 is one of the clearest examples of a handgun that appeared promising on paper, but struggled when real-world reliability became the standard. Built around a hesitation lock system derived from the old Paterson design, the pistol was intended to provide softer recoil in a slim 9mm package. Unfortunately, early production models became known for widespread reliability issues. Owners reported failures to feed, failures to extract, and failures to eject. More concerning were reports involving out-of-battery discharges, where a cartridge could potentially ignite before the slide was fully closed. Those problems moved beyond simple inconvenience and into genuine safety concerns. What made matters worse was the platform's sensitivity to variables such as magazine geometry, spring tension, extractor fit, and ammunition pressure. Small deviations often created larger problems than they would in more forgiving handgun designs. Remington eventually recalled the pistol and released an updated second-generation version with revised internals and magazines. While improvements were made, many shooters remained skeptical, especially given the uncertainty surrounding long-term parts availability and manufacturer support following Remington's corporate restructuring. For many defensive-minded shooters, the R51 became a cautionary tale about trusting innovative designs before they establish a proven track record. Ultra-compact 9mm pistols always push mechanical limits, and the Diamondback DB9 illustrates why. When engineers shrink a 9mm handgun to extremely small dimensions, compromises become unavoidable. The slide has less mass, recoil springs must work harder, and timing tolerances become increasingly critical. As a result, factors such as grip stability, ammunition choice, extractor tension, and magazine performance play larger roles than they do in larger handguns. The DB9 has accumulated years of reports involving feeding issues, extraction problems, and the well-known concern of pins drifting out of position on earlier generations. When critical components begin moving where they shouldn't, reliability becomes inconsistent. The tiny grip also contributes to the problem. With minimal surface area available, shooters may inadvertently induce malfunctions through inconsistent grip pressure. Even experienced shooters sometimes struggle with ultralight micro pistols under rapid fire conditions. Diamondback made numerous improvements throughout the pistol's development, and later generation DB9 models generally perform better than their predecessors. Nevertheless, the fundamental challenge remains the same. Compact dimensions leave very little room for mechanical error. Kimber's Micro 9 occupies an interesting place in the concealed carry market. As a miniature 1911-inspired handgun, it offers attractive styling, familiar controls, and premium pricing. Naturally, buyers expect premium reliability to accompany that price tag. When the pistol is clean, properly maintained, and functioning correctly, many examples perform very well. However, the platform's compact dimensions leave little margin for error. One of the most frequently discussed concerns involves light primer strikes. Carbon buildup, dried lubricant, firing pin channel contamination, or harder primer compounds can all influence ignition reliability. Because the pistol relies on a compact hammer-fired system, available energy and firing pin travel are more limited than on larger handguns. Feeding and extraction issues have also been reported. The short slide travel means cartridges have less distance to transition from magazine to chamber, making magazine condition, recoil spring performance, and extractor tension especially important. Micro-sized 1911s can run extremely well, but many shooters feel they require more attention and maintenance than competing designs. For a defensive pistol, that level of sensitivity causes some owners to look elsewhere. The SIG CPX-2 highlights an important point about defensive firearms. Reliability isn't only about whether a gun cycles properly. The pistol uses a hammer-fired double-action only trigger system with a long pull that typically measures in around 9 pounds. Every shot requires the same lengthy trigger stroke. While manageable during slow, deliberate fire, that trigger can become challenging under stress. Shooters often struggle with speed, consistency, and precision compared to pistols equipped with lighter or shorter trigger systems. Mechanically, the CPX-2 also shares many characteristics common among budget micro 9mm pistols. Limited slide mass and stiff recoil springs create a narrow operating window, particularly when using lower-powered ammunition. Inconsistent support hand pressure or weaker practice loads can occasionally contribute to extraction and ejection issues. Although CC's warranty support is frequently praised, customer service cannot solve a malfunction occurring during a defensive encounter. For many shooters, the concern isn't whether the pistol can function. It's whether it allows them to perform effectively under pressure. One aspect of the Kahr CW380 immediately stands out: the manufacturer's own recommendations. Kahr openly advises owners that the pistol should not be considered fully broken in until approximately 200 rounds have been fired. That's not internet rumor. It's guidance provided directly by the company. The reason stems from the pistol's design. As a very compact lock breech 380 ACP handgun, it utilizes short slide travel, stiff recoil springs, and tight mechanical tolerances. Small amounts of friction have a greater impact than they would in larger firearms. Common break-in issues include failures to return fully into battery, feeding inconsistencies, and extraction irregularities. Kahr even recommends chambering the first round using the slide stop rather than manually cycling the slide, highlighting the importance of full spring energy. Many CW380 pistols become reliable after proper break-in and testing. The concern is that some owners never complete that process before carrying the firearm defensively. When reliability depends on careful lubrication, ammunition selection, and a 200-round break-in period, the burden shifts heavily toward the user. The Taurus G2C has become one of the most popular budget carry pistols in America, largely because it offers substantial value at an affordable price. At the same time, it has developed a reputation for inconsistency. Many owners report excellent performance and years of reliable service. Others encounter issues involving feeding, extraction, or inconsistent ejection patterns. This variation has fueled years of discussion about quality control consistency. Technically, the G2C operates within the same constraints faced by many compact striker-fired pistols. Tight timing windows, short slide travel, and compact dimensions mean small deviations in magazine geometry, extractor tension, or feed ramp finish can create reliability concerns. most issues are often correctable. The problem is that many shooters don't want fixable to be part of their defensive gun buying process. Taurus backs the pistol with warranty support, but experienced shooters generally agree that every G2C should undergo extensive personal testing before being trusted for defensive use. The platform can be reliable. The challenge is determining whether your specific example is one of the good ones. The SIG Sauer P320 occupies a unique position on this list because the primary controversy isn't centered around feeding, extraction, or cycling reliability. Most P320 pistols run extremely well. Instead, the discussion focuses on safety concerns and liability questions that have followed the platform for years. In 2017, SIG introduced a voluntary upgrade program after concerns surfaced regarding drop fire performance. The update included modifications to trigger components, internal geometry, and safety mechanisms. Since then, numerous lawsuits and reports involving alleged unintentional discharges have kept the pistol in the spotlight. Several law enforcement agencies have reviewed their policies regarding the platform, and legal challenges have continued appearing across the country. Adding to the controversy, a state-level lawsuit filed in late 2025 sought to halt sales and pursue recall efforts within one jurisdiction. It's important to note that investigations have not always reached identical conclusions. Military reviews involving M18 service pistols, for example, reported no confirmed mechanical malfunction related to certain incidents. Additionally, military and civilian configurations are not necessarily identical. Nevertheless, once a firearm becomes associated with lawsuits, agency reviews, and ongoing public debate, trust becomes part of the reliability conversation. For many shooters, reliability extends beyond whether a pistol fires when the trigger is pressed. It also includes confidence in what happens before and after that trigger press. Reliability isn't just about surviving a box of ammunition at the range. It's about consistent performance when conditions are imperfect and stress levels are high. The Remington R51 struggled with core design and safety concerns. The Diamondback DB9 illustrates the compromises of ultra-compact 9mm pistols. The Kimber Micro 9 demonstrates how tight tolerances can create sensitivity. The SCCY CPX-2 raises questions about shootability under stress. The Kahr CW380 demands a substantial break-in process. The Taurus G2C continues battling quality control debates. And the SIG P320 remains one of the most discussed handguns in the industry due to ongoing safety controversies. None of these firearms are automatically unusable. Many owners have positive experiences with them. The lesson is simply that defensive firearms deserve extensive testing before trust is earned. A carry gun isn't just another purchase. It's equipment that may someday be expected to perform when nothing else matters.